The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Very good morning and a warm welcome to every one of you. Hope you're all doing fine. First of all, I would like to thank you all for your presence and your patience for taking time in registering in our workshop series because your participation means a lot to us here at ManageEngine. So we the AD Solutions team hope to make sure that this session is going to be valuable and you will gain something out of it. I hope that my voice is audible and the screen is well and clear. If not, kindly let us know through the chat. Let me introduce myself. My name is Anu, a senior technician at ADManager Plus, and I am your presenter for the day. So this is workshop number 5, the last workshop of this ADManager Plus series. So let me give you a quick recap of what we have seen in the past 4 weeks. So in first week, we saw about user provisioning techniques. So we saw how you can create templates and then how you can make use of the data given to you by your HR people in a CSV file and then put them in a particular location. And also we saw how we can make certain attribute mandatory and how to detect and handle forest-wide duplicates. So and after that, we saw how you can standardize the naming formats, and then we also saw how you can provision AD and Exchange and Office 365 accounts from a single window. So in week 2, we saw about streamline management of Active Directory users, Exchange mailboxes, and Office 365 licenses. So we saw how you can change or update the primary and secondary SMTP addresses, how you can archive or migrate your Exchange mailboxes, how you can move your home folders and all that. And we also saw how you can free up the licenses of inactive Office 365 users. And we also saw about the modification rules, that is automatically updating a user's certain properties when a particular attribute is changed. So in week 3, it was all about delegation and workflow. So we saw how you can customize the user management control for your IT technician or how you can restrict your technician from accessing a particular location. And also we saw how you can make your employees a requester and how we can perform a request approval and execution pattern in using ADManager Plus. And in week 4, we saw about partial free Active Directory reporting and NTFS permission management. So we saw how you can just get the reports based on your requirements, say how to identify the logon permission or how to immediately reset password for all your user accounts or how you can change the NTFS permissions. So we saw all these things in last 4 weeks. So in today's session in week 5, we will be focusing on automation. So that is, how do I automate certain critical Active Directory tasks? In other words, say how do I perform certain repetitive tasks that are crucial to my organization? It can be cleaning up of your Active Directory or user provisioning, or it can be anything. So let me give you the agenda for the day. So let's say you have your new joinee details given by your HR executive. Now what you have to do is you need to automatically provision user accounts. So I will be telling you how you can perform such task in today's session. And the next thing is, say for example, you want to find out the inactive accounts and then you want to perform the cleanup operation. So usually cleanup operations follows a sequence of steps. Say you disable them and then you move them to another organizational unit and then you remove their group membership and then finally you delete them. So how do I automatically perform such operations? So we will be seeing that as well. And the next thing is, let's say you want to temporarily provide a business access to a business data. So say for example, for an employee, you just want him to access a file server or any crucial organizational unit for 1 month. So provisioning such access is so easy. But what happens if you forget to revoke them? So what I'll be telling you is you can automatically revoke such permission with the help of automation in ADManager Plus. And also we will be seeing how you can get reports which are based on multiple domain controllers. And after that, in the second half of today's session, we will be seeing about ADManager Plus mobile apps and then the troubleshooting tips that you face some issues in ADManager Plus. Okay, so having said all that, let me take you to the application. If you have ADManager Plus installed at your end, you can very well make use of that. If you don't have ADManager Plus, you don't have to worry about that. Kindly look at the chat window for the URL of the test lab that we have set up and hosted online. So kindly access this link to make use of ADManager Plus, and the login credential is ADMP is the username and the password is workshop with W capitalized. So kindly make sure that you log on with ADManager Plus authentication, not the workshop domain. So kindly log in using ADManager Plus authentication. Okay, so let me log into the application. So as you can see that when you log into the application, you will be welcomed with the product dashboard. So as I said, as a first step in today's session, I will be telling you how you can auto provision user accounts as per the details given by your HR executives. So for this, you need to create an automation. Go to Automation tab, and then now I'm going to create a new automation. Just click this link, Create New Automation, that you can see on the right side of the screen. Click Create New Automation. So you can name this automation. I'm going to name this as User Creation. So you can automate for your user account, for your computer account or group or contact account. So you can automate tasks related to all these 4 objects in your Active Directory. But right now, since I'm going to create a user, I'm going to put this under the category User Automation. And if you want to choose a domain, if you have multiple domains configured in ADManager Plus, you can very well choose it. And if you want to be very particular in the organizational unit that you are going to create this user account, you can choose the organizational unit as well. Okay. So in the automation task, I'm going to click Create Users. So when I click Create Users, you can see something called template to be applied. So for those who have attended the first 2 weeks, you would have known what a template is. If you're new to this session, you don't have to worry about it. I'll just quickly give you an overview of what a template is. So as a first step, let me create a template. This can be a quick deviation, but I promise that creating a template is going to be a one-time process and you can use it any number of times you want. So let me go back to AD Management tab and then create a template. First, go to AD Management tab and choose User Management and then choose User Creation Templates. So I'm going to create a new template. So just click this link, Create New Template, on the right side of the screen. So I'm going to name this template as User Creation Template. Okay, so as you can see here, you can enter the logon name format. So say for example, you want your employees to have a format of first name dot last name. Then you can choose that as well as per your need. So if John is going to be the first name and Smith is going to be the last name, then your logon name will be John Smith at workshop.admanagerplus.com. So that is going to be your domain name. So now say for example, you're creating this account for an admin and you can create a format admin first name at domain.com. So creating your own naming format is so simple. Just click this link. You will be taken to the page where you can create your own naming format. Okay. So now say for example, if you want to choose the container, just click this pencil icon. And then you can pick the organizational unit from the list here. So this will list all the organizational units present in your domain. Okay. Now say for example, you have Exchange. So just go to Exchange tab, and here you can choose all the Exchange related attributes that you want for your technician. Okay, so as you can see here, you can choose the Exchange server, the mailbox database, and the email alias name. If you want to set any storage limits, or if you want to set any delivery restriction, you can place all that over here. And if you want to set any sharing policy or active sync retention policy, you can decide all that over here. Okay, so if you want to set any custom attributes, you can set that as well. So if you have any link server, just go to link tab, and then choose LCS OCS server, and then you can choose your server and all that. Or if you have Office 365 installed and configured in your ADManager Plus, then you will have a tab for Office 365. There you can just go and choose whether you are going to create a user account or not. Okay, so now let me let me save this template first of all. So the next step is I'm going to automation, and now I'm going to click create new automation. I'm going to name this automation as user creation. Choose the automation task as create users, and then choose the template you have created. I'm going to choose it as user creation template. So now the next thing is you have to specify the network share path of the location where you have saved your CSV file. Now let's say, so this is going to be my network share path. So this is where I have kept my CSV file. Let me show you an example of a CSV file. You just have to make sure you save this file with the format .csv, and then you need to provide the essential attributes for your employees. So given name is the first name, SN is the last name. So these are all the LDAP attributes that you can set for your organization. If you're wondering where I can find the LDAP name for all the attributes for my organization, you don't have to worry about it. Just go to ADManager Plus. There you can find a help document link on the top right of the screen. Just click this help link. So this is where you can find all the reference that you need to know to access ADManager Plus. So go to CSV import, click create users using CSV. There you can find list of LDAP attributes supported. So there you can see here the given name is the LDAP name for first name attribute. And if you want to set, say, street, then you need to give it as street address, and you can set all that with the help of this document. Okay, so now say for example you are going to automate this task for every day or for every week. So your HR people don't have to create a request over here, or you don't have to go to AD management tab and then to enter the attributes and all that. What your HR people or your technician has to do is just open this file and then enter the detail of the employee. Now say for example it's going to be Mark Anderson and the password. So you just have to enter the value for your employees and then save this file. So at the time specified over here, this automation will pull the data from this CSV file, and then it will create the user account in your Active Directory. So by selecting this, select only the appended objects. So it will only take the objects that are added new from the last time it was executed. Okay. Now if you want to implement the business workflow, now say for example you want this automation task to be raised as a request, and then you need to review it and then you want to execute it, then you can very well do that by clicking this link, implement business workflow. Or if you don't want to implement the workflow, just simply leave it blank. Now I'm going to set the execution time for say daily, at 9 a.m. in the morning. So you can hit save to save this automation task, or hit save and run to save it and then run immediately for once. So I'm going to save this task right now. So as you can see that this automation has been successfully created. So if you want to execute it right now, just have to hit this run button, or this automation task will run at the specified time. Okay, let me hit run now option. So now you can see that this automation has started, and if you want to have the history for this automation, just click this execution history icon. So it will fetch all the operation for you. So now you can see this import CSV file failed because just make sure that you have given the correct location over here. So once this automation task runs successfully, so you can get the status over here, whether it has been done correctly or not, by clicking this request ID. Okay, so this is how you can automate tasks for creating your user account. Now say for example, you want to perform a sequential step for cleaning up your account in Active Directory. So how do I do that? So as a first step, you need to create an automation policy. Go to automation policy. So now what I'm going to specify is I'm going to deprovision account with several steps. I'm going to create a new automation policy. Just go to the top right and then click this link, create new automation policy. Let me name this as cleanup policy. So you can even choose the category over here, whether it's going to be for user or computer or group or contact. You can even choose the domain. So as a first step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the inactive users, and then as a first step, I'm going to disable such user account. And once I'm done with disabling the user account, I'm going to add another task. So as you can see over here, after 30 days, or you can specify after 7 days, once the users are disabled, I'm going to move them to another organizational unit. So you can choose the organizational unit by clicking this pencil icon. So let's say I'm going to choose disabled users. And once I'm done disabling this user account, and after 7 days, I'm going to remove their group membership. So after 7 days, just choose this option, remove from group. You can either specify that particular group by clicking this plus icon. When you click this plus icon, so you can see over here, you can choose any of the groups or multiple groups that you want to be removed from that user account, or you can just simply select this checkbox, clear all existing group membership, so that this particular account will be removed from all the groups. And after 7 days, I'm going to delete that user account. So after 7 days, choose the option delete users. So now I have defined my cleanup policy, wherein I stated I first disable the user account, and after 7 days I'm going to move them to another OU, and after 7 days I'm going to remove them their group membership, remove all their group membership, and after 7 days I'm going to delete the user account. So I'm done with creating my policy. Let me hit save. So now you can see here this automation policy has been successfully saved. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to map this policy with my automation. Let me go to automation, and now let me create another automation for cleanup. Let me name this as cleanup activity. So this is going to be a user automation. And now I'm not going to choose the task. I'm going to choose an automation policy. So my policy is cleanup policy. So to whom should I apply this policy? So you can decide that in two ways. Either you can choose it from a report or you can import the CSV file. So let me hit select. So let's say I'm going to perform the cleanup policy for the users who are inactive for say 60 days or say it's 30 days. You can even decide you want to exclude the disabled users and exclude users who have never logged on. Okay. Or you can choose any of the reports that you can see over here. So right now I'm done with choosing the inactive users for 30 days and hit OK. So I'm going to run this automation task for every month, for every 30 days. So I'm going to click it as monthly on 30 at 6 p.m. in the evening. So which is going to be 18 hours and 0 minutes. Okay, so I'm done with creating this automation and now I'm going to hit save. Okay, so as I said, if you want to go and have a look at the history, just click this automation history. There you can see what are all the operation that has been done with this automation. So whatever you do with ADManager Plus, everything is audited. You can export them whenever you need. So you don't have to worry about what operations has been done in Active Directory when you are using ADManager Plus. So say for example, when you perform any operation with AD management, you always have that report, that particular operation recorded in our audit report that you can find under AD delegation. And in the similar way, whenever you perform any operation with automation or workflow, you always have it recorded in our AD Manager Plus application. So as a next step, let's say, how do I provide temporary access to business data for a particular user account? Okay, so let me create a new automation for such task. So let's name it as, say, group membership. So I'm going to choose this policy as, so right now I need to create a policy before I create this automation. So what I'm going to state in my policy is, first I add him to a group and then I remove him after 30 days. So for which you need to go to automation policy and then let me create a new automation policy. Click create new automation policy. Name this as temporary access to group. So first step, I'm going to add him to a particular group. So now let's say you want to provide him access to a file server. You usually delegate the permission to access a file server with a security group. So what we can do is I'm going to delegate that particular user. I'm going to add him to a particular group. Let's click this plus icon in order to choose the group. So let's say it's going to be AD Audit Plus or Basic Group 1. So I'm going to add my user to these groups. And let me hit OK. So what I have to do is, after 30 days, I'm going to remove his permission. Let me select remove from group. So delegating a particular user to a group, adding a particular user to a group is not a big task. You can always have it done with AD Management tab. But revoking them, forgetting to revoke his permission is going to be very critical when it comes in terms of security. So after 30 days, I should remove him from a group. So I can even choose a particular group. So after 30 days, I'm going to remove him from AD Audit Plus and Basic Group 1. Let me hit OK. So now I'm done with stating what I should do instantly and what are the successive tasks for providing a temporary access to a business data. Let me hit save. So now I can use this policy and then create an automation. Let me hit create new automation. Let me name it as user automation, or let's say temporary access. Let me choose the task, the automation policy as temporary access to a group. You can decide whether to implement this in workflow. Let me show you what happens when you implement it via a business workflow. So let me check this option, implement business workflow. And now you can choose either from the report or from the CSV file. So I'm going to choose it from my report. So let's say it's for enabled user. You can even add particular condition. So I'm just going to choose a particular user account by directly either providing the employee ID or the SAM account name. So let me choose a particular user. And hit OK. And now let's say I'm going to run it on a daily basis, or you can even choose a particular date. Just choose a particular date and then decide whether it should run only once or it should run repeatedly on that particular date. Okay. So let's say I'm going to run it every week Friday at 10 a.m. in the morning. Okay. Let me now save this automation. Okay, so if you want to run it now, you can even hit this run now option, and you can always go and open this. So report generation has failed, which means you don't have any input for this data. So let me just edit this automation so that I can show you. Okay, let me edit this automation and hit update. Let me test whether I have any enabled user with that category. So let me hit run now. And now you can always go and open. Now you can see that this request has been raised. So this automation has started executing, and once you click this history, you can see the request ID. When you click that, you will be taken to the request page. So if you can always review and execute it. So if you are a reviewer and if your business flow is configured to review a task, review a request, so then you can see all this over here. Just whenever you come to all requests, you can always see all the requests that was raised through your automation. So since I implemented business workflow over there, my automation task, the temporary access, has been raised as a request and it is waiting for the review option. You can either review it or you can even cancel it. Okay. So this is all for automation. So this is all for how you can automate certain tasks that are repetitive or monotonous in your organization. Now, let's say, for example, you want to get a report, you want to ensure accuracy when you have multiple domain controllers in your domain. Now, let's say you want to find the exact logon time for all your user account. So since logon name is an attribute, last logon is an attribute that does not replicate, and last logon timestamp is an attribute that provides you an approximate last logon time since it replicates at a specific interval, say at 14 days in general. So how do I ensure the accuracy of certain attributes? Just go to AD reports. So we have domain controller based reports. Just click real last logon. There you can see what domain you want to find. You can even add some filters to it. Say you want to get all users or group based users or organizational based users. Now say for example, you want to get the users real last logon from this location. You can just select it and hit OK. But right now I'm going to leave it blank. So I'm going to get all the logon report for my users in my organization. So as you can see here, this report was taken from two domain controllers. So this domain has two domain controllers. If you have say 4 or 5 domain controllers, ADManager Plus compares the logon time from all the domain controllers and then gives you the exact last logon time for your user account. If you want to find any other attribute, just click this add or remove column. Now say for example, you want to find the employee ID, just select it and then hit OK. So we can find the employee ID over here, or say you want to export this report, you always have it done. Or not, say for example, you want to schedule this report. So say for example, at end of every day, you want to find who all have recently logged in or who all have logged in. So you can always get it scheduled. Just go to schedule reports and then create a schedule for yourself. Click create schedule and then choose the report that you want. Say recently logged on users or real last logon. So just choose the report and then choose your duration, enter the mail. So I need it for daily at 7 in the evening. And you can choose the format, you can specify the email address. So you can also schedule it for your purpose and then hit save. So I'm going to name this as real last logon and then hit save. So this is how you can ensure the accuracy from different domain controllers if you have multiple domain controllers in your domain. So coming to second half of today's session, so we will be seeing on how you can make use of ADManager Plus mobile apps. Now say for example, you are a system administrator and you cannot be available at office all the time. You may have parties to go for, or you may have some other personal task for you and you cannot be at office all the time. So how do I manage my user accounts when I'm not available at my desk? So you can make use of our mobile apps. So in order to install it, just go and have a look at our home page in ADManager Plus. There you can find the link to install the mobile app. If you want it for Android, you can get it from the Play Store, or if you want it for your iPhone, you can always get it from your iTunes. So once you install this app, it just takes 6 MB of your mobile space. So once you install this app, you will be shown with the server settings. Just enter the IP address or the server name and the port. And once you enter the server settings, you just have to enter your login details. Enter your login details and then log on to your mobile app. So the first thing you can see is you can get the reports. You can get all users or inactive users, password expired users. Now this is the new version of our app where you can manage your computers as well. So you can get the computers reports, disabled computers reports or inactive computer reports, and also you can manage your workflow. Now say for example, a request has been raised and that particular task, that particular request has been assigned to you. So how do I find what task has been assigned to me and that are in open, that have not been executed still? So you can have that reports under workflow. So you can get all these report in your mobile app. You just have to, you don't have to be at your desk all the time. Just open your mobile app and then go and perform the operation you want. So once you click any of the report, say it's going to be all users, so you can see the list of users present in your domain. Just choose the particular user, and if you want to perform any operation, management related operation, enabling, disabling, reset password for your user account, or unlock the user account or delete the user account, or you can even change the group membership for your user account. So once you click enable or disable or unlock or delete, you can get the status as in here. So whether it has been successfully installed, successfully enabled, or you encountered any error, so you can get all that over here. And if you want to say perform a group membership operation, just click this group membership. So you will be shown this page where you can add the selected users to a particular group, or you can remove them from a particular group, or you can even change their primary group. So select all those operations and then hit update. So with the help of ADManager plus mobile app, you can perform all these operations at one step. You don't have to be at your desk all the time, most importantly. Okay. And if you encounter any error, now say for example, when you install ADManager Plus, it automatically discovers the domain and adds the domain controllers present in it. So what do I do if it does not recognize my domain? So you don't have to worry about it. Just click this help link. As I said, this is where you can find all the documents related to access ADManager Plus. So there you can find troubleshooting tips. Now let's say if it is regarding a domain settings, when I add my domains manually or none of my domains are discovered. So what could be the reason? So as you can see, ADManager Plus upon starting discovers the domain from the DNS server associated with the machine running the product. So if you install ADManager Plus in this machine, make sure that this machine is connected to your domain, or make sure that it is available in the DNS server. Or when I add my domain manually, the domain controllers are not resolved. So you can even add your domain controllers manually whenever you add the domain. Okay, so if you have any other queries related to Active Directory reports, now say no reports are available. So it could be due to any of the following reasons. So it can be due to a network availability. Let's say when you generate the report, this product, this machine where you install is not connected to your network, or they don't have any reports. They don't have any data for a particular report. So you can always have such kind of you can even face certain issues when you perform any management related operation. So say for example, you are trying to reset a password for a user account, and then you get an error message, error in setting the password. So there can be a naming violation, or it can be, say for example, you have entered a password that does not meet the password complexity. So you'll get an error message, the server is unwilling to process the request. So you can always get the exact error message for the error code that you can see whenever you face any errors or issues while accessing ADManager Plus. You can always have it rectified with the help of troubleshooting tips that we show over here. Okay, so this is all for today. So let me give you a quick recap of what we have seen today. So we have seen how you can automate certain repetitive and monotonous tasks that you want to perform for your organization. So when it comes to cleaning up of activity or revoking a permission, when it comes to security related issues, so these can be very critical if you forget to revoke the permissions. So for such cases, you can always create an automation policy, state what you want to do, add them to a group, and after 30 days you can remove them from a group, or disable them after 7 days you move them to a particular group. So you can perform all kind of sequential step of operations that you want to do on your user account. So once you're done creating an automation policy, go to automation tab and then create a new automation for your operation. So it's going to be a cleanup activity, just choose the policy, or if it's going to be a user creation, just choose your template and your CSV file. So you can have it done. ADManager Plus does these operation for you. You don't have to do it every day. Just enter the data in the CSV file, or you have a report. So say for example, for performing the cleanup activity, you have the users taken from the reports. So you don't have to verify or enter any data. ADManager Plus automation takes care of your cleanup activity. And the next thing is you can even get the reports. You can ensure the accuracy of multiple domain controllers, and most importantly, you can perform the on-the-go management of your operations. As an IT administrator, you can perform all the operations with just your mobile. So download the mobile app and then perform your operations, what you want to do, enable a user account, unlock a user account, reset password for a user account. You can perform all these operations with your mobile app. And the last thing is we have seen how you can get certain tips whenever you encounter any error when using ADManager Plus. So this is all for today. So this is the last workshop of this series. Thank you so much for your participation. I hope you found it useful. If you have any feedbacks or if you want anything to be covered, just mail us your requirement at support@admanagerplus.com. And after at this session, you will receive a survey form. Please do fill us the survey form so that we can get to know about your requirement, because your feedback is very much valuable to us and it will help us in improving a lot. So thank you so much for your participation and have a good day.